The World of Thedas Volume 1. Summary of Audiobook Part 3. Geography and an in-depth examination of the calendar systems of Thedas. Chapter 1. Welcome to Thedas. Geography and Climate. Thedas is a vibrant, diverse land of arid desolation, verdant forests, and frigid mountain ranges. Often climate and geography vary widely over short distances. The volatile, volcanic marshland of the Nahashan marshes in western Orley, for instance, could not bear less similarity to the fertile heartland some 3 days east. Cutting through the middle of the continent is the Waking Sea, a busy waterway lined with some of the continent's biggest cities, including Val Roy-O, Cumberland, and Kirkwall. The sea connects to the mighty Amaranthine Ocean, so massive and turbulent only the bravest dare venture far off the coast. In the southern regions, temperature changes grow most extreme as heavy precipitation spells severe rains and, in Ferelden especially, harsh winters. By contrast, heat reigns in the north. This is most pronounced in the driest steppes of the Anderfels. The inhospitable region offers little more than oppressive heat and blowing dust. That which might lie beyond the known world is of great interest to scholars. Few people have explored and fewer have documented the northern reaches islands like Seheron and Parvolin, and the impenetrable jungles of the Dawn Orcs. What lies still further north, and indeed across the Amaranthine, is anyone's guess. The Quinari, relatively new to Thedas and perhaps the only race with the means to travel so far, actively suppress any knowledge of where they came from and why they left. Mountain Guide to Thedas. Frostback Mountains. The treacherous frostbacks run from the Corkari wilds of southern Ferelden to the banks of the Waking Sea. They are home to the robust human tribe known as the Avar, and, beneath the range's northern foothills, most of the continent's dwarves. The entrance to the dwarven city of Orzamarlis in Kirill's Pass, the only frostback passage safe for year-round travel. Hunterhorn Mountains. The massive Hunterhorn Mountains stretch across southwestern Thedas like crooked fingers. The largest mountain range in Thedas holds some of the continent's tallest peaks, including its highest, Emty, Ambrosia. In the southern reach Chesley the Gamorden Peaks, which cradle the Abiel Reach, and on its edge the Warden Fortress Adamant. Vimark Mountains. The Vimarks are a steep range that runs along the northern shore of the Waking Sea in the Free Marches. At the foot of the range sit the city-states of Kirkwall and Markham, as well as the Planocene Forest. Noteworthy landmarks include a span of jagged waterside cliffs known as the Wounded Coast, as well as Sundermount, said to be the site of the final battle between the Elven Empire and the Tevinter Imperium, a massive grey warden prison that once held the ancient darkspawn known as Coryphus is embedded in these mountains. Time and calendars. Chantry calendar. The Chantry calendar is the most common in Thedas. Its first year honours the appointment of the Chantry's original head, Divine Justinia I. Unlike other calendars, the Chantry marks time by ages, each 100 years long. At the end of each age, Chantry scholars name the next. To do this, they look to the current state of Thedas and watch for signs from the Maker to help predict what will come. Currently Thedas is in the 9th age of the Chantry calendar, known as the Dragon Age. It was predicted to be a time of great destruction and upheaval. To say this prediction was accurate has proven an understatement. Anything prior to one divine is known as the Ancient Era, and the years, counting backward, are designated with negative numbers. Ages. There have been 9 ages since the formation of the Chantry. Divine Age. 1. 1 to 1. 99. Named to celebrate the reign of the first divine. Glory Age. 2. 1 to 2. 99. Named for predictions of a grand rebirth after the devastation of the first blight. Towers Age. 3. 1 to 3. 99. Named upon the completion in 2. 99. Glory of the Grand Cathedral in Val Roy-O, its towers visible from miles around. Black Age. 4. 1 to 4. 99. named as the Chantry called for retribution against the Black Divine, installed by the Tevinter Imperium to rule its imperial chantry following the schism. Exalted Age 5, 1-5, 99. Named during a period of near constant war with the Tevinter Imperium that included multiple exalted marches. Steel Age 6, 1-6, 99. Named after Queen Madrigal of Antiva was assassinated during a hunt. She was found with 4 steel swords in her chest. Storm Age 7, 1-7, 99. Named as war with the Quinari raged. The leaders of Thedas called for a great storm of violence to expel the invaders. Blessed Age 8, 1-8, 99. Named by the Chantry as an age of bounty and prosperity. Dragon Age 9, 1-present. Named upon reappearance of dragons, long thought extinct. Months. The current 12 months and 4 seasons that define a year are rooted in the early years of the Tevinter Imperium. Except for the Chantry holidays after the Second Blight, the months and primary seasonal holidays remain unchanged after more than 2,000 years. Each 30-day month has a low name, largely used among the common classes, as well as an official high name. Only courts and scholars use the month's alternate names, based on the original Tevinter. First, common name. Winter March, official high name. Derisiveness. Second, Guardian. Pluitanis. Third, Draconus. Nubilus. Fourth, Cloud Reach. Eluvista. Fifth, Blooming Tide. Moliaris. Sixth, Justinian. Ferventus. Seventh, Solus. Solis. Eighth, August. Mid-release. Ninth, Kingsway. Parvulus. 10th, Harvest Mir. Frumentum. 11th, First Fall. Umbrellus. 12th, Haring. Cassis. Holidays. The majority of Thedas, from Tevinter to Ferelden, celebrates 5 major holidays, each rooted in the early years of the Tevinter Imperium. First Day. The traditional start of the year, this holiday involves visits to neighbours in remote areas. This was once an annual check to ensure everyone was alive, as well as a town gathering to commemorate the year past, accompanied by drinking and merriment. Winter Send. Once called Earthalis and dedicated to Earthamil, the old god of beauty, this holiday has now become a celebration of the Maker. It stands for the end of winter in many lands and coincides with tourneys and contests at the proving grounds in Meinridus. In southern lands, this holiday has become a day of gathering for trade, theatre, and, in some areas, the arrangement of marriages. It is celebrated at the beginning of Pluitanis, Summer Day, once called Andorolus and dedicated to Andoril, the old god of unity. This holiday is universally celebrated as the beginning of summer, a time for joy and, commonly, marriage. Boys and girls ready to come of age don white tunics and gowns. They then join a grand procession that crosses the settlement to the local chantry, where they are taught the responsibilities of adulthood. Summer Day is a particularly holy occasion in Orlais. It is celebrated at the beginning of Moliaris. Furnalis. This holiday was once dedicated to the old god of silence, Jumat. However, since Jumat's rise during the first blight, Stygians turn a blind eye to any old ties between the day and the dragon. The holiday is now known across Thedas as All Souls' Day and spent in sombre remembrance of the dead. In some northern lands, the people dress as spirits and walk the streets in parade after midnight. The chantry uses the holiday to remember the death of Andraste, with public fires that mark her immolation and plays that depict her death. It is celebrated at the beginning of Mitronrelease. Saturnalia, once dedicated to the old goddess of freedom, Zazarkal, but now attributed more to the second moon, Sutina. This holiday is accompanied by wild celebration, the wearing of masks, and naming the town fool as ruler for a day. In Antiva, Saturnalia lasts for a week or more, while a week of fasting follows. In more pious areas, large feasts and the giving of gifts mark the holiday. Saturnalia is celebrated at the beginning of Umbrellus. Tevinter calendar. The people of the Tevinter Imperium do not honour the authority of the Chantry or its calendar. Citizens of the Imperium follow their own calendar, which predates the Chantry's by well over 1,000 years. The Tevinter calendar starts at the date the Imperium was founded and the first archon was crowned, marked as year 0 TE. Past history is counted back with negative numbers. Much like the Chantry calendar, Tevinter abandoned the use of its calendar briefly with the creation of the Chantry calendar, but returned to it after the schism. Elven calendar. The Elven calendar was established with the formation of the city of Arlathan. It was used for more than 6,000 years, only to be banned when the Tevinter Imperium sacked Arlathan and enslaved the Elven race. Modern scholars outside of Tevinter recognise the existence of the original Elven calendar, although only a few key Elven dates have survived the passage of time. These include the first contact with dwarves in 3000 F.A., or negative 4600 ancient, the arrival of humans in 4500 F.A., or negative 3100 ancient, and the founding of the Tevinter Imperium in 6405 F.A., negative 1195 ancient, or year 0 TE. The founding of Arlathan is marked as 1 F.A., the earliest recorded date in the history of Thedas. Over thousands of years of recorded history, much has been lost or forgotten. This spreadsheet of calendar conversions will be read in the following sequence: Elven calendar, or F.A., Imperial calendar, or T.E., Chantry calendar, named age, and, finally, anchor event. 1 F.A. equals negative 6405 TE, or negative 7600 ancient. Founding of Arlathan. 3000 F.A. equals negative 3405 TE, or negative 4600 ancient. First elf-dwarf contact. 4500 F.A. equals negative 1905 TE, or negative 3100 ancient. Humans explore Thedas. 6405 F.A. equals 0 TE, or negative 1195 ancient. Tevinter Imperium founded. An Elven calendar is banned. 800 TE, or negative 395 ancient. The first blight begins. 1025 TE, or negative 170 ancient. The death of Andraste. 1195 TE, or 1 divine. Chantry founded. 1199 TE, or 5 divine. The second blight begins. 1481 TE, or 87 towers. The Chantry schism. 1614 TE, or 20 exalted. The fourth blight ends. 8429 F.A. equals 2024 TE, or 30 dragon. Start of the fifth blight. 8436 F.A. equals 2131 TE, or 37 dragon. Mage Templar War begins. 8439 F.A. equals 2034 TE, or 40 dragon. Rough approximation of present day. End of ZuleFandom Audiobook Part 3 of Dragon Age, The World of Thedas Volume 1. Part 4 of this series will be the first installment of Chapter 2, Races, beginning with humans and the tribes of Thedas.